Hello students, in this video I'll explain some tricks to solve problems, numericals, which is very important for the board examination and the competitive exam. So here I'll start with the solid state chapter. How to calculate density of the solid crystal. Density D is given by the formula Zm divided by A cube Na, correct? Generally, we write a density in terms of gram per cm cube. Okay. Z is nothing but number of atoms per unit cell. Now, Z is equal to 1 for simple cube. Z is equal to 2 for BCC, right? And Z is equal to 4 for FCC. Correct, students? Or the CCP. A stand for the edge length, right? It is stand for the edge length. Now, edge length can be given in terms of meter, centimeter, picometer, all those units. Wherein A cube altogether stand for the volume, side into side into side. Okay, A stand for the edge length, right? Na stand for Avogadro number. Avogadro number, you know that 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. Correct? Now, suppose they give edge length in terms of picometer. Remember, 1 picometer is equal to 10 power minus 12 meters. 1 nanometer is equal to 10 to the power minus 9 meter. 1 angstrom unit is equal to 10 to the power minus 10 meter. Correct, Alva? Now, I want to convert this picometer into centimeter. So, it is a 10 power minus 12. And 1 meter, you know that 100 centimeter 10 power 2 centimeter, like therefore I can write 10 power minus 10 centimeter here, correct? So like that you can go on changing the units, right? Now the question is how to calculate radius of the tetrahedral void. Now what do you mean tetrahedral void? If there are three particles like this, we are going to get here the trigonal void. This is a trigonal void. Now this is a in a 2 dimension. If I go for 3 dimension, suppose there is one more particle here covering that particle, then this void becomes a tetrahedral void. What is the octahedral void? Say there are three particles like this. There are three particles which can form trigonal void, right? Now suppose you have got three more particles above it. See here, okay? 1, 2, and 3 here. So there will be one void here in between here, that is called the octahedral void. Now the size or radius of these voids depend on the surrounding particle. Okay. Now let the R be the radius of these atoms. Then how to calculate the radius of the tetrahedral void? Radius of tetrahedral void is equal to 0.225 times the radius of the atom surrounding it. Similarly, the radius of the octahedral void would be equal to 0.414 into the radius of the atom surrounding it. Clear? So, these are formula to calculate. Now, generally, cations being smaller in size can be trapped in these voids surrounding the anions. Correct? Therefore, I can write radius of the cation trapped in the void is equal to 0.2225 into radius of the anion. Clear? Similar here also, the radius of the cation which is trapped in the octahedral void is equal to 0.414 into radius of the anion. Okay, so whatever given here, this is for the ionic compound. The first formula is there, 0.225 R into R is for the metallic, okay, crystals. Clear? Now, how many tetrahedral voids and octahedral voids are there? Suppose n is the number of atoms per unit cell. So these are the atoms per unit cell, assuming number atom per unit cell. Let that n is equal to z value. Z is nothing but number atom per unit cell. You know that one, right? Now, suppose n is the number of atoms in the closed packing which form the crystal, let it be equal to n, then number of octahedral void is equal to n itself. How many tetrahedral voids are there? Tetrahedral voids will be equal to 2n, double the number. So this is in terms of tetrahedral voids. So remember, 1:1 ratio for the octahedral, 1:2 ratio for the tetrahedral. So total how many voids are there? Total voids are octahedral is a n, tetrahedral is a 2n, therefore total we have got 3n. So 3n is the total number of voids in the given crystal system, right? How to calculate the packing efficiency? So to calculate the packing efficiency, we can use the formula volume occupied by the spheres of the atom, volume occupied by spheres of the atoms in the given unit cell divided by volume of unit cell into, if I go for percentage, it is 100%. Okay, out of 100%, there is the packing efficiency. Now remember, packing efficiency for simple cube is equal to 52.4%, correct? Therefore, remaining space is called the void, and that void is equal to remaining percentage is 47.6% is the void, empty spaces, correct? Similarly, packing efficiency in case of BCC is equal to 68 percentage, and the remaining empty space called the void. The voids are altogether 32 percentage, correct? So the packing efficiency of the FCC or CCP is equal to 74 percentage, and the void empty space in the FCC is equal to around 26 percentage now. So among all these, you can see the maximum value for the FCC, right? So that means FCC is the highly packed crystal structure. Right, students? Now, what is the relation between edge length and the radius? Now, if I go for a simple cube, in case of simple cube, edge length is equal to 2 times the radius of the atom. Okay. Then, if I go for a BCC, the square root of 3a is equal to 4 times the radius of the atom. Okay. Now, what is square root of 3a? Square root of 3a is nothing but the body diagonal length. This is the body diagonal length. This is the body diagonal length here. Next one, we have got FCC. In case of FCC, square root of 2a is equal to 4 times the radius of the atom, wherein square root of 2a is nothing but the face diagonal length. This is the face diagonal length we have. Face diagonal length, right? Now to calculate number of particle per unit cell, that is the Z value, how to calculate, which are important to solve the problems. Now in case of simple cube, you know that particles are there only in the corners, correct? Particles are only in the corner. Therefore Z is equal to, there are 8 corner particle and contribution each one is 1 by 8. Therefore Z is equal to 1 here, right? If I go for FCC, you know that the particles are there in the corners. Also, particles are there on the faces, correct? You know that for corners it is 8 into 1 by 8, right? And there are 6 faces, and each face is shared by 2 unit cells, therefore 1 by 2. So therefore total is equal to 1 plus 3 is equal to 4 for FCC. Number of particle per unit cell is equal to 4. So if I go for BCC here, right? Now there are corner particles as usual, and there is one particle at the center of the cube, that is the body center particle. So if I calculate here, so Z value will be equal to 8 corner particle, contribution is 1 by 8, right? Plus only one body particle, body center particle, and that belongs to only one unit cell. Therefore 1 plus 1 is equal to 2 for the BCC, correct? So remember number, right? And the defect, one of the important defect is to solve the problem is the impurity defect. Now what is the impurity defect? Suppose I have got sodium chloride. While crystallizing sodium chloride, suppose there are strontium chloride impurities. some of these sodium ions can be replaced by the strontium. So we'll get impurity defect. That means the extra element, new element comes in the crystal lattice sodium chloride. So I've got here say sodium Na plus. I'm assuming ideal crystal of sodium chloride. So this is the sodium here, and here let it be chloride. Alternatively, this is the sodium and this is the chloride. Suppose strontium comes. Here, strontium valence is plus 1. Sodium valence is plus 1 and strontium valence is plus 2. I want to make it equal to 2 sodium ions are equivalent to 1 strontium. That means if there is a replacement of 2 sodium ions, but we can introduce only 1 strontium here. Only 1 strontium comes, correct? That means there will be one vacancy here, correct? So there is a vacancy created here. Now this vacancy should have been occupied by the cation. So this is called the cationic vacancy. Cation is missing here. Now how many cations vacancies are there? Number of vacancies is equal to number of strontium, correct? Suppose you want to calculate how many vacancies that are there, that is equal to the number of strontiums. Okay. So therefore cationic vacancy is equal to the concentration of the strontium chloride present. Okay. So now we'll solve the problem. Suppose 1 mole of sodium chloride. Suppose 1 mole of sodium chloride is doped with that means adding impurity doped with say 10 to the power minus 5 mole percentage of strontium chloride. Question given like this. Calculate the number of cationic vacancies. You have to calculate the cationic vacancy. How to calculate? So cationic vacancy is equal to the concentration of the strontium chloride, that is 10 to the power minus 5 mole percentage. Suppose they don't want answer in terms of percentage or mole, you'll convert that mole into Avogadro number. Then what you'll do? Okay. So get rid of this percentage. So 10 to the power minus 5 mole. How to remove the percentage? Divided by 100. Correct? So this is equal to 10 to the power minus 7 mole. Correct? 10 power minus 7 mole. Correct? So but we don't want the answer in terms of mole. So you'll convert now. This is equal to 10 power minus 7, and you know that 1 mole contains 6.022 into 10 power 23, correct? So this will be equal to 6.022 into 10 to the power, so 10 power plus 16 here, right? So many vacancies are there per mole now. Now this is the per mole, clear? So this is the way how to solve the problem, students. If you're watching for the first time this video, please like, share, subscribe RD Chemistry YouTube channel and the Telegram channel. Thank you for watching.